Welcome to Quebec City, one of the most beautiful and historic cities in North America. Whether you're a first-time visitor or someone who wants to rediscover the magic of this charming destination, today we're diving into the top 10 places to check out in Quebec City. We're going to wander through cobblestone streets, soak in the history, and enjoy the unique European charm that sets this city apart. From stunning landmarks to hidden gems, Quebec City has something for everyone. So grab your walking shoes and let's get started. Our first stop is the heart of Quebec City, Old Québec, or Vieux Québec as the locals call it. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and for good reason. As you stroll through the winding, cobblestone streets, you'll feel like you've been transported back to Europe. The architecture here is incredible, with centuries-old buildings painted in vibrant colors. Take your time, wander a bit, and discover hidden courtyards and charming cafes tucked away on side streets. One of my favorite things to do in Old Québec is simply to wander. Get lost in the maze of streets and soak in the atmosphere. You'll stumble upon street performers, artists selling their wares, and the aroma of freshly baked bread wafting from local boulangeries. And speaking of feasts, be sure to stop for a bite to eat in Old Québec. Whether you're looking for a casual creperie or a fine dining experience, you'll find it here. And don't forget to try the local specialty, poutine. It's a Quebec classic. Now you can't come to Quebec City without seeing the iconic Château Frontenac. This grand dame of a hotel dominates the skyline and is said to be the most photographed hotel in the world. And trust me, it's even more impressive in person. Perched atop Cap Diamant, this castle-like structure overlooks the St. Lawrence River, and it's like something out of a fairy tale. The Château Frontenac has a rich history, dating back to the late 19th century. It was built by the Canadian Pacific Railway as a luxury hotel to attract tourists, and it's been a beloved landmark ever since. Even if you're not staying here, it's worth taking a stroll through the lobby, admiring the architecture and soaking in the ambiance. One of the best ways to experience the Château Frontenac is to have afternoon tea in the lobby. It's a bit of a splurge, but it's worth it for the experience. You'll be treated like royalty as you sip tea and enjoy delicate pastries, all while surrounded by the grandeur of this historic hotel. And if you're a history buff, be sure to take a guided tour of the Château Frontenac. Just outside the Château Frontenac, you'll find the Terrasse du Ferrand, a beautiful wooden boardwalk that stretches along the cliffside, offering breathtaking views of the St. Lawrence River and the lower town. This is the perfect place to take a leisurely stroll, enjoy the fresh air, and soak in the scenery. As you walk along the Terrasse du Ferrand, be sure to look for the various monuments and statues that line the pathway. Each one tells a story about Quebec City's rich history and culture. One of my favorite things to do on the Terrasse du Ferrand is to grab a coffee and a pastry from one of the nearby cafes and find a bench with a view. It's the perfect way to relax and watch the world go by. You'll see sailboats gliding along the river, horse-drawn carriages clattering through the streets below, and locals and tourists alike enjoying the beautiful day. In the winter, the Terrasse du Ferrand transforms into a magical winter wonderland. The boardwalk is illuminated with twinkling lights, and you can go ice skating on the rink overlooking the river. Now we're going to venture a little outside the city center to experience the raw power of nature at Montmorency Falls. Trust me, this is not your average waterfall. At 272 feet high, it's actually taller than Niagara Falls. Just let that sink in for a moment. As you approach the falls, you'll hear the roar of the water crashing down into the chasm below. It's a truly awe-inspiring sight. You can take a cable car to the top of the falls for panoramic views or hike down to the base for a closer look. And if you're feeling really adventurous, you can even zip line across the falls. One of the things I love about Montmorency Falls is that it's beautiful in every season. In the spring, the falls are at their most powerful, swollen with melting snow. In the summer, you can cool off in the mist at the base of the falls. Our next stop is a place of great historical significance, the Plains of Abraham, or Plains d'Abraham as it's known in French. Now this vast parkland might seem peaceful today, but it was once the site of one of the most pivotal battles in North American history. In 1759, British and French forces clashed here, ultimately deciding the fate of New France. Today, the Plains of Abraham is a beautiful urban park where you can escape the hustle and bustle of the city. It's a popular spot for jogging, cycling, picnicking, and simply relaxing. As you stroll through the park, be sure to look for the various monuments and memorials that commemorate the Battle of the Plains of Abraham. One of my favorite things to do on the Plains of Abraham is to visit the Musée National des Beaux-Arts du Québec, which is located right on the edge of the park. This museum houses an impressive collection of Quebecois art, from traditional to contemporary. It's a great way to immerse yourself in the local culture. And if you're visiting in the summer, be sure to check out the Festival d'été de Québec, which takes place on the Plains of Abraham every July. Now let's step inside one of Quebec City's most treasured landmarks, the Notre Dame de Québec Basilica Cathedral. This stunning cathedral is a masterpiece of religious architecture and a testament to the city's deep Catholic roots. As you enter the cathedral, take a moment to admire the grandeur of the interior. The soaring ceilings, intricate stained glass windows and ornate decorations will take your breath away. The Notre Dame de Québec Basilica Cathedral has a long and fascinating history, dating back to the 17th century. It's been destroyed by fire and rebuilt several times, and each iteration has left its mark on the building's architecture and design. Be sure to look for the various chapels and altars dedicated to different saints, each with its own unique story to tell. One of the highlights of the cathedral is the Holy Door, which is only open during Jubilee years. According to Catholic tradition, passing through the Holy Door is said to grant plenary indulgence. Whether you're religious or not, it's a powerful symbol of faith and forgiveness. Now for a taste of old world charm, let's head to the Petit Champlain district. This charming neighborhood is nestled at the foot of Cap Diamant and is one of the oldest commercial streets in North America. As you wander through the narrow cobblestone streets, you'll feel like you've been transported back in time. The Petit Champlain district is a shopper's paradise, with its charming boutiques, art galleries, and souvenir shops. You'll find everything from handcrafted jewelry to local maple products to unique clothing and accessories. One of my favorite things to do in the Petit Champlain district is to stop at one of the many cafes and enjoy a cup of coffee or a glass of wine. The atmosphere here is so relaxed and inviting, and it's the perfect place to people watch and soak in the ambiance. And if you're feeling peckish, be sure to try a crepe from one of the many creperies in the area. Now let's head back up to the top of Cap Diamant to visit the Citadel of Quebec. This star-shaped fortress is the oldest military building in Canada. Explore its fascinating history, dating back to the 17th century. Don't miss the changing of the guard ceremony every morning at 10 o'clock from June to August. It's a colorful display of military tradition. Visit the Citadel Museum to learn about the Citadel's role in defending Quebec City. Let's take a moment to appreciate the stunning views from here. Now for a fascinating journey through Quebec's history and culture, let's head to the Museum of Civilization. This modern museum is located in the heart of Old Quebec and offers a unique and interactive look at the people, events and ideas that have shaped this province. One of the things I love about the Museum of Civilization is its focus on storytelling. Through its exhibits you'll learn about the lives of everyday people, from the First Nations peoples who have called this land home for thousands of years to the European settlers who arrived centuries ago. Be sure to check out the museum's permanent exhibit, People of Quebec, Then and Now, which traces the history of Quebec from its earliest inhabitants to the present day. You'll see artifacts, photographs, and interactive displays that bring the past to life. And if you're interested in contemporary art, be sure to visit the museum's temporary exhibit space, which features rotating exhibitions from Quebec and around the world. Before we leave the Museum of Civilization, take a moment to reflect on the rich tapestry of cultures that have come together to create modern-day Quebec. Finally, let's escape the city for a while and take a short ferry ride to Île d'Orléans. This island, located just a few miles downstream from Quebec City, is a world away from the hustle and bustle of urban life. As you step off the ferry, you'll be greeted by rolling hills, picturesque villages, and a slower pace of life. One of the best ways to experience Île d'Orléans is to rent a bike and explore the island at your own pace. You'll find well-maintained bike paths that wind their way through orchards, vineyards, and along the scenic St. Lawrence River. Île d'Orléans is known for its agricultural abundance, and you'll find plenty of opportunities to sample the local bounty. Be sure to stop at one of the many roadside stands selling fresh produce, homemade jams and jellies, and of course maple syrup. And if you're a wine lover, be sure to visit one of the island's vineyards. Au revoir, Quebec City. Quebec City is truly a place of wonder, with so many historic sites, natural beauty, and charming spots to explore. Have you been to any of these places, or is there one you're most excited to check out? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more travel tips and guides. See you in the next one.